Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're doing episode number 23 of I Build Your Teams, the series where I build my viewers' teams into the best teams possible for competitive play and or my team unlimited, based on how much MT they have and what their squad is currently looking like. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, help me push towards the 10,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. First team today comes in from my boy PJ, and he has himself a really nice little budget squad, no money spent type team right here. Got blessed getting Billy Knight and Mike Bantam. He says, okay, maybe he didn't. I may or may not be lying about one of those guys. Well, okay, maybe he has not gotten fully blessed yet, but I think he has Mike, so I'm assuming he's trying to get Billy. But with that being said, we'll just play it as the team you sent me. We got Russ, we got Penny. I like the twos, obviously. Even without Billy Knight, you could just play Mikhail Bridges temporarily or somebody like that, or even somebody cheaper. But then Mike Bantam, Andrew Wiggins, KG, Michael Oluwakonde, and Miles Turner. 100,000 MT is enough MT to make a couple upgrades. I think your fours are great. I think your twos, once you get Billy, are incredible. Your threes, Mike is the best three in the game. I mean, he's incredible. But the backup three, I don't love Wiggins at the three, to be completely honest. I think an Andre Kirilenko, who's cheap and good, is a great upgrade, or even just play OG Anunoby at the three. In my opinion, I think he gives you more on the defensive end. But if you want to run Wiggins, that's fine. I would be running OG over Wiggins personally. Point guard position, I like Penny, and I really like Russ. But I think Denny Avdia is worth a pickup, and then you pick one of these two guys, bring him off the bench. But I would start Denny Avdia, especially since you have elite scoring ability with Billy and Mike in the starting lineup, or even with Ray and Mike in the starting lineup until you get Billy. But also, I'd probably get David Robinson, Pink Diamond. He's super cheap at this point, still very good. I think he's going to be an upgrade over Miles Turner. He's very, very cheap. So that's another card I'd look to pick up. So in terms of auctionable cards to buy, it's definitely Denny Avdia and David Robinson, Pink Diamond. I would play OG over Wiggins personally, and then for the meantime, you could pick up a guy like Mikhail Bridges until you get Billy Knight, so that you have somebody else to fill that spot at the two. But second squad today comes in from the real Laker fan. He's got 400 MT because 2K has bad pack odds. This is his team. He bought Denny and sold Harden and then spent the MT on back. So he's got Denny, Bridges, Pippen, Siakam, Kareem, Bob Sura, Terry Dishinger, Tim Thomas, Chet Holmgren, and Mark Gasol. I don't hate this team as like a budget team. I think it's honestly pretty good. What I might actually recommend doing for this squad specifically is starting Tim Thomas over Scottie Pippen, because of the fact that you have Denny at the point guard position and you need another ball handler, I feel like, in your starting lineup. So going Denny, Bridges, Tim, Siakam, Kareem, I think is an improvement. And then you could have Pippen off the bench where he's next to Terry, who's your ball handler. I don't love Donald. You need to save for another point guard, even if it's a guy like Penny Hardaway. You could even just buy the Amethyst Penny Hardaway for right now. I just don't think he's that good. But with no MT, you can't really make any upgrades, is the thing, especially with a lot of your players being unauctionable. So one thing you got to remember with this type of team, the reason I included this team is because this is why you don't buy MT, plain and simple. You're throwing away the ability to upgrade your team at a certain point once you spend all your MT, like especially now that you can't really buy MT unless you want to spend money on VC. It makes it really hard if you're wasting the MT that you do have on packs, because pack odds suck. Just because us YouTubers open packs, and I don't even open on packs on my own account anymore, at least not very often. But I don't open with VC for one, but packs odds are not good. I don't recommend opening packs. Do not open packs. This dude's got a super solid team, but if he hadn't opened packs, I bet his team would be looking even better. That's all I got to say, though, about that, to be completely honest. I would start Tim, like I said. Go get even an Amethyst Penny as a temporary upgrade to Don Ol. Somebody like that. They'll drop another great budget PG soon. But then we got Enzo's team. He's got Russ, Scottie Pippen, Tim Thomas, E, and Kareem, Magic, Ricky Davis, OG Anunoby, AD, and Chet. Also has Karl Malone and SGA in his last three. I would sell Magic and SGA and move Karl Malone to the backup four over Anthony Davis, in my opinion. Additionally, I would sell Magic and I would sell Ricky Davis, and then I would buy Denny Avdia and Mikhail Bridges. I would start Denny, and then goes Denny, Scotty, Tim. And then off the bench, I'd go Russ, Mikhail, OG, and I think that still gives you enough bench scoring and defense, to be completely honest. And I think those two guys, Mikhail and Denny, are going to be upgrades over Magic and Ricky overall. If you want to keep Ricky for his offensive prowess, you could, but I really think going with Russ off the bench next to Mikhail and OG, who are great defenders, and then having Denny start next to a shot creator and Tim and a secondary shot creator and OG is the perfect lineup for you right now, in my opinion. Can make a little bit of the MT back that you're going to be spending on those two guys by selling Magic, Ricky. In fact, you'll make basically all of it by selling Magic, Ricky, and SGA back as well, which is kind of nice. So after that, I don't know if I'd spend MT right now. Maybe you could upgrade Kareem to Pink Diamond David Robinson. I don't think that's a bad idea, but I don't think it's a necessary thing either. So kind of up to you at that point. But those are the upgrades that I'd be looking to make for this squad. 14 today comes in from Cheese. He's got only Jabari is auctionable, 45K, trying to get Billy Knight. This picture is terrible. It's like hard to see who you have, but that's okay. I guess we can still work with it. We got Ben, we got Pippen, we got Carmelo, who I guess are all unauctionable, and then Bam, Pow, who's also unauctionable, Penny, Clay, who's also unauctionable, Mark, who's also unauctionable, and Kevin Love, who's also unauctionable, I guess. Basically a whole team of unauctionable players for the most part. I would sell Jabari Smith. You're trying to get Billy Knight. If you do get Billy Knight, what I'd do is I would throw him at the starting 2, and I'd bring Carmelo off the bench at the 2. But for now, I would go Carmelo and Clay as your 2s, Scottie Pippen at the 3, Ben Simmons at the 1. Backup 1, Amethyst Penny is fine. You could upgrade to Denny Avdia if you want. Backup 3, I would upgrade to Andre Kirilenko over Jabari Smith, since he's not going to be that much more expensive. And the main position that you actually need to upgrade, which is why I probably wouldn't upgrade to Denny right now, is your power forward position. I think a couple guys to get are going to be Christian Wood and Amari Stoudemire. I think those 2 guys are both better than the power forwards you have right now, and also really, really cheap budget options. At the same time, I would also probably, although I guess if Marcus All's unauctionable, you can't sell him. You're not going to have the MT to get a Pink Diamond David Robinson as well, probably. But for now, buy those 2 power forwards, Wood and Amari. Those are going to be upgrades at your power forward position. Move Carmelo to the 2 and Pippen to the 3, and then replace Jabari Smith with AK. And if you get Billy, start him at the 2, bring Melo off the bench. It's about all you can do right now. Next squad comes in from Baron. He's got Ben, Scotty, Pascal, Zion at the 4, which is I don't love because of the size. And then David Robinson, Donovan Mitchell, Zach LaVine, AK, Pow, and Walker Kessler. Pow is also unauctionable again. I'd swap Zion and Siakam. I'll just say that right now, 100%. 26K is not a ton of MT to work with, unfortunately. And most of your guys aren't auctionable either. So for this team, actually, to free up a little bit of MT, because you need a backup point guard and you need a backup shooting guard, in my personal opinion, what I would probably do is I would, I'd swap Siakam and Zion. I think I would keep Siakam, although you could sell Siakam and just buy Christian Wood, and that would free up some MT right there. And I don't think that's actually a terrible idea. So maybe you go Ben, Scotty, Zion, C Wood, and D Rob, and then off the bench. Then you would have a little bit more MT, and you could go Denny, Mikal Bridges, or Ricky Davis if you want more shot creation. Mikal is going to be more defensive, but then you'll have a lot of defense off the bench and not as much shot creation. So maybe you do go with a guy like Ricky Davis off the bench, or even a Terry Dishinger, depending on how expensive he is. I don't know how much Terry is, but if you can get the MT to get Denny and Terry, and then have the bench as well with AK, Pow, and Kessler, that would work, and that would definitely require you to sell Siakam. But I think you could do that, because Christian Wood I really do think is a very good card for very cheap, and I think he's a great option. Could also sell D-Rob and replace him with Michael Oluwakandi, who's going to be the same card, basically just as good. Very, very similar all the way around. Better playmaker, and maybe not quite as good of a shooter, but a better release as well. So maybe you do that as well and sell Siakam and D-Rob, replacing them with C Wood and Oluwakandi, and then getting the MT to get Denny and a Terry Dishinger off the bench. If you could do that, that's going to upgrade your 10-man, but that's about all you can do with the restrictions for MT that you have right now. Second to last team today comes in from Hero. He's got 1.1 million MT. Feels like his biggest flaws are starting shooting guard and backup 3 through 5, but is wondering who he should get. He's got Ben, Mikal, Siakam, Nikola Jokic, and D-Rob, and off the bench he's got Harden, Pippen, Batum, C Wood, and Kessler with Denny Avdia as well. So, assuming your Ben Simmons is auction, actually I don't know. I would get Vince Carter. That's the one guy I would get at the 2. I'll say that for sure. I love Vince. I think he's right up there near the top for the shooting guard position in this game. So I would definitely get Vince. At that point, it kind of depends what you want to do, because I think there's an argument to be made. You just go Harden, Mikal, Pippen off the bench, and then take Batum out the lineup entirely. And I think that's what I would do personally, is go Ben, Vince, Siakam, and then Harden, Mikal, Pippen, or even start Pippen over Siakam. So it's Ben, Vince, Pippen, and then Harden, Mikal, Siakam off the bench. But that's how I would probably run your 3s. Your 4s are fine. Your 5s are like good, but who is the best upgrade you can make at center besides Yao? There's really not one. I mean, Walker Kessler's maybe not the best center in the game, but he's super solid. He holds it down defensively, can hit open from 3, has a great player build. I think maybe you just hold on to your MT for right now. Wait and see if we get a Kareem or somebody like that in the near future who can play the 5 and has some size, a Kristaps Porzingis, somebody like that. But yeah, the only actual player that I'd buy is Vince, because then I just bring Mikhail off the bench and run Siakam and Pippen as your 2-3s, and then I think your 4s are fine personally. So that's the only player that I would be buying, because it kind of fixes your starting shooting guard and backup set problem that you're kind of having. I like having Avdia as well in your last 3, just in case you need to replace Harden or something at PG. You could even run Avdia, Harden, Siakam or something like that, or Avdia, Harden, Bridges at times as your 1 through 3 if you wanted to. But second to last team today comes in from Trex. I'm sorry, last team today comes in from Trex. He's got 176K. He's trying to get Mike Bantam and Billy Knight. And he's got Ben, Denny, Jaylen Brown, Ray, Tim, OG, KG, E, Michael, and Kareem. Your 4s and your 5s are great. Your 1s are great. Ray is great, and your 3s are great. I would sell Jaylen Brown and buy Vince Carter. I think you have enough MT to get Vince if you do that. That is the upgrade I'd make, plain and simple. If you wanted to go cheaper, I would go Terry Dishinger. Outside of that, I don't know if I'd be spending the MT to make any upgrades right now, because I'm not sure how many effective upgrades you can make, but you do need a little bit more scoring, I think, in your lineup. Although with Tim there, I guess you don't quite as much. You could also just go Mikal Bridges. You could go Ben, Mikal, Tim Thomas, and just have more defense as well. So I would get one of those 3 guys, kind of up to you who you get between Terry, Mikal, and Vince, depending on how much MT you want to spend and what type of card you're looking for, more offensive or defensive. But I would upgrade one of those guys instead of Jaylen Brown personally. Outside of that, I really would not spend any MT to make any other upgrades. I'd continue saving for future budget cards and future drops and things like that. But with that being said, I hope y'all did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.